Hello, everybody. It's Sunday, and I just felt the need to do this video. There's going to be no charts involved, and there's no thought in this either. It's just off the cuff. Um, because I was sort of bored this weekend, which is an odd thing. And so I scanned my bookshelves for something to reread. And I happened upon this book, um, which I bought years and years ago. It's by David Denby. It's called American Sucker. And David Denby was and is, I suppose, a movie critic. He was a well-established writer for the New York Magazine, then the New Yorker. And it's essentially his tale of getting into stocks in a big way late in 1999 with the goal of making $1 million so they could buy his soon-to-be ex-wife out of their apartment building, and instead wound up losing $1 million. And of course, I'm sure I bought the book years ago for some Schadenfreude, which runs thick in my veins. But I read it this time, like I said, because I was bored and had nothing really to do this weekend. And I was surprised at how it affected me, because it allowed me to get inside the head of a bull. Now, we're not talking about, one of these two guys right here. This is not a professional investor. He's not a well-known perma bull. He's just a writer like me, who just couldn't take any more of that sweet, sweet NASDAQ goodness getting away from him. And, tragically, of course, he got in really late, although he got in during that final swoosh higher where the NASDAQ went from like 2,500 to 5,000 in a matter of just a few months. And then we know what happened next. But what was fascinating to me about this is that when it got to the part around September of 2000, when the NASDAQ had been clobbered and, some stocks were down 90, 95%, and the NASDAQ as a whole had gone from 5,000 to 4,000. And people were really bugged that it had been that badly damaged. Since I knew what was coming, because he tried to write this sort of real time, he brings up journal entries from those days. This is not just a reflective, it's more of a peek inside his diary. And it helped me understand sort of what he was thinking and what a lot of people were thinking at the time. And there's a reason. The old saying is, markets climb a wall of worry and slide down a slope of hope, because hope appears a lot after March 2000. And it also reminded me what a real bear market is like. It's not one of these things that goes away in a couple of weeks. It goes on, like in this case, for about 2.5 years, and quickly changes society into one that is obsessed with gambling, to one that doesn't even want to hear the words stock market ever again in their lives, and they despise the place. Of course, that recovers, as we saw. But I'll say this. Between the post I wrote yesterday, lining out, I had 13 different things that are bad that are coming that nobody's really thinking about. And reading this book, even more so reading this book, I'm convinced that my feeling that, well, that was a fun run down and we'll have to sort of suck it up while we get another big bounce here, etc. Some of your remarks following my post about, you're being too optimistic, etc., I think you're right. NYU grad, I think, called me sanguine for my post, and that's probably true, because I feel that we're sort of in the September 2000 mode right now. Yes, the market's gone down. Yes, people are disgruntled, and it's just hope, 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 hope. And looking at the chart, because as I was reading this, I kept looking at the chart, like where was the NASDAQ when he was writing these words, and kind of what was coming up next. It just convinces me that this is going to be horrific and gargantuan and world-changing, and hopefully not society-ending stuff. But this is not June 16, 2022, and this is not April of 2020. This is, the first act in a tragedy. So, um, I hope I don't write like this. I'll say that too, because he just tries way too hard. Very flowery. And, I think it's instructive to read bad writing to see, like, I don't want to write like that. I hope I don't. All the same, I'm glad to have reread it. And bounce or no bounce, I think the die is cast. And I think that even I am going to be amazed at just how low things go. And that's it.